youth crime. Kecil-kecil dah gatal sekarang.
Kecil-kecil dah gatal. Apa dia buat?
Dah gatal sexual offences. Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Dia orang below age. Habis macam mana? Kalau dua-dua below age macam mana?
I think I recently spoke about this also on another platform. So there are crimes against in relation to sexual offences against minors. What many youths do not realise is that even if you consent to the act, right, you may be liable for the offence itself.
Because under the law, they are still underage, right?
Yes, they are still under the age of 16 years. You cannot lah. So I had one case where this man, he met who he thought was a lady lah, but actually it's a girl, school girl, on one of those dating websites, and she clearly misrepresented her age lah. But he did not take the steps to actually ascertain her age. He just met her and then engaged in some sexual offence of a sexual nature, and he was subsequently charged lah.
But bukan ke ni perempuannya gatal misrepresent herself? Habis lelaki ni pula yang kena.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a huge age gap lah, and she was below the age of 16.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he claimed he was not aware.
Her look?
He said look quite mature. Yeah. But you know, you are supposed to take reasonable steps to actually ascertain the actual age also lah. But which he didn't.
But it's not very normal for you to find out the age.
Yalah. Takkan just you umur berapa tunjuk buktikan IC. It does not make sense Patutnya perempuan tu bukan punish tau.
Yeah, but to me it's still children lah. Like 15, 14. Well, now children even younger than that, you know, they become more influenced. And I do have youth clients who are very young. They are in school themselves, and they engage in sexual intercourse. They feel that they are in a relationship. 16? Yeah, they are in relationships. But then, you know, for example, the boy gets charged, even though he's maybe 15, the girl also 15. They both mutually consent. Right? There was no element of force, no aggression, but still it is a crime lah. The law is cognizant of the fact that these are youths, you know, may have made a mistake, and most of them have potential for rehabilitation. So the law is more forgiving in the sense that there are other sentencing options other than jail. So for probation, that's also an option. That means they will be placed under a curfew, and certain conditions have to be met. Which can be quite, I know for some of them it can be quite stifling also lah, but it's to see whether or not they are capable of rehabilitation. Of course, it's not a given. It doesn't mean that just because you are under a certain age, you are young, therefore immediately you are granted probation. That's not the case. You know, the court will take a look at your potential for rehabilitation, whether or not you are likely to re-offend, the severity of your offence and all that.
Boys' home, is it part of the place? No. Okay.
Just stay home. They use what, tracker?
So sometimes they have
really?
But also they will have like usually a probation officer that's attached who would actually monitor and speak to the family members, and then the family members have to be very aware also and be able to monitor the.
But both will be
if it's sexual intercourse, right? Meaning the penile penetration, then the boy lah.
Really? What if the
and you know there's it doesn't just extend to it. Yeah, so even if the girl initiates, so there's it's not just that. So for example, there's things like grooming also. So nowadays children, they tend to be exposed to all sorts of adult themed content, right? They watch, and if you watch together and like slowly and then start experimenting, you could be charged for grooming that person, you know, that child. What I'm trying to say is that I think parents need to be very aware. They need to know that what their children are up to. It's not just a matter of making sure that your child complies with religion, but it's also to make sure your child doesn't get into trouble with the law lah. It would be a huge waste, you know, and I do think that a lot of the youth out there, they are not even aware of this. They always think that sexual offenders means like it's you are raping someone, or you are forcing someone, you are doing it to a stranger, or like, you know, there's a huge age gap, maybe it's a child and an old person, a sexual predator kind of thing. They don't realize that actually they need to be careful themselves. The reason that they are charged is because somebody made a report. You also have youth offences where they get involved in not just gangs, but they do things in a group. They interact with people who don't really behave properly and are likely to fall foul of the law. Now Telegram is like the thing, right? Everybody's on Telegram, and then there are a lot of scams happening on Telegram, or you know, you sell your IC on Telegram, sell your SingPass details on Telegram. They are very got into it because it's easy money. I get $300 if I just give them my IC details, right? And then they rope their friends in, like, if you can refer more people, then there'll be something for you. You know, there's some sort of incentive, and maybe the friends themselves are able to tell that actually it's a scam, but they don't care. Right? And then they just bring in other people, and other people they are not aware. Some of their friends are not aware, and then they just follow. Then one person gets caught, everybody kena. Yeah. That's why parents really need to be very, very aware. They need to know who their children are interacting with. You should be able to suss out the characters of the friends. Like, not be too like restrictive of their children, especially if they are teenagers and all. They wouldn't like it, right? But be able to monitor and educate their children enough lah. They have to have conversations about these, and the parents should also be aware of the law. Some of the common youth crimes would be under the Money Lenders Act. They help all these alongs, all these unlicensed money lenders, and then these unlicensed money lenders will say, you just don't worry, you don't need to do anything, you just write something only, or you just like
pin
or write you just write using a marker. Don't worry, marker only can wipe off, right? So you think it's nothing. I give you $300. I have seen, and I've represented clients, new clients who haven't even anything, somebody saw them doing it, call police, 300 tu tak dapat lah. Kena tangkap pula. You know, I've also seen, and I've also represented clients who they are being told, don't worry, we are not asking you to be the one to write. You just stand by only, just alert. And be the scout lah. I keep saying 300 because I keep hearing this 300. It's always 300. I give you this amount, you scout lah, you just be the lookout. Don't worry, you won't get into trouble with the law. And that's the famous words, don't worry, very legal. But not legal. You are part of it, right? You are an accomplice. You are actually abetting, the legal word is abetting. You are abetting the crime. So this one kena, you also kena lah.
I think
is it worth it or not?
Looking at the dollar sign now.
Exactly. So that's why some of them, they tend to want instant gratification. They want things easy. You know, this one is quick money. I only do this, I get this. I only do this, I get this. So parents should also warn the children and say things like, okay, if you see something suspicious, somebody is reaching out to you via WhatsApp, via Telegram or whatever, and offering you a job. If you are not in that position to be able to properly assess, if you are not sure, ask first. Discuss any job with me first. Let me take a look. And you should have conversations with the children. So
I think parents have the responsibility to create this awareness also.
Even so paranoid, you know, when my son wants to go for a picnic with his friend, I said, if your friend starts vaping, please know that is not allowed in Singapore. So you know what you should do? You should just go home because you know you cannot change them. Right? So you just come up with an excuse, call me, we come and pick you up. You know, because we don't want them to macam inadvertently become involved with something. They don't even smoke.
Correct.
But just because that person does that, then you cannot we try to tell him and educate him a bit, like the world is not so simple. There are people who, you know, sometimes they don't mean it, but inadvertently they give trouble to you. So you need to be aware of such things and see it. But I don't know, sometimes you don't know whether you're doing enough or not.
I mean, we try our best lah. Just be aware and always just keep having conversations with them such that they want to share everything with you. Because if, like, for example, if they are looking for a job right? If let's say they have open conversations with you, they will be telling you, oh, I'm going to apply for this, I'm going to apply for that, right?
Yes.
What are the youth crimes? Potentially defamation. Okay, so defamation can be a civil suit or it can be a criminal action. Civil suit means like the victim is the one suing you, the victim, right? Suing the defamer. But like criminal defamation is if it's a criminal matter lah. For what constitutes defamation, there's two types. One is the spoken word and one is the written word. So it can be both ways, right? And sometimes youths they have this false sense of security. They feel like they can say whatever they want online, comment whatever they want, don't care. I create fake account and all, but like you can still be traced, right? Just be mindful of what you say online. There are defenses for defamation. So one of it is justification, meaning you are telling the truth, right? I won't go into the different defenses, but avoid it lah. So don't say things which you are not sure whether they are true, and don't anyhow share things also, because let's say son A says something very defamatory and which is not true, but still considered liable if you republish. Long time ago, republication is more difficult because it's like the newspaper, you have to reprint. But now you just share. So very mindful before you just share everything. Yeah.
We learned a lot today.
Heavy.
Yeah.